This demo will walk you through crafting your first book. Here's the Ghostwriter Express dashboard. Let's create our first book. The first step to creating your book is to go to the book title generator. Choose the template style that best aligns with the book title you would like to create. Once you choose a template, you will be taken into the book builder section. To continue working on a book you've already created, select the book title from the drop-down menu. Or to create a new book, simply click Create New. You can select or change the template you wish to use within each section by clicking on the template name to open the drop-down menu. The history stores all of the content you've generated. Select the History button to view all of the past content you've created for that template. If you need help at any time, you can watch the tutorial. To help you craft the perfect content, you can select the blue tooltip beside each field name. This will give you an explanation and examples of the information you need to enter in that field. A pop-up will display with examples of the type of information required. Once you've added information to a field, a folder will appear on the right that contains the history of the last 10 entries in this field. Click on this folder to easily reselect information you've already entered and add it to that field. Targeting a niche allows you to craft specific and relevant content that resonates with the right audience. You can be as specific or as broad as needed to allow your book to match your readers' expectations perfectly. Outlining the primary goal allows you to craft books that are tailored exactly to your readers' needs. Whether specific goals or broad concepts, you can craft your book to achieve any goal. To ensure your book is highly relevant to your niche, you can further refine your criteria with a specific topic within your primary goal. Once you've outlined your book, you can generate relevant book titles and subtitles. Scroll through and choose your book title and subtitle. If the titles aren't quite aligned with your needs, you can change the details you entered and generate new titles. Or, you can mix and match and type the title in manually. Once you've chosen your title, you can click the Add Title button to add it to your book builder. Alternatively, if you already have a title, you can just type it in. You can also add your book subtitle by clicking the Add Subtitle button. It's important to have a subtitle to generate relevant content. If you don't want a subtitle displayed on your book, you can remove it from your book after you export it. Before moving on to the next step, highlight and copy your subtitle or write it down, so you have it available when you are ready to create your table of contents. Click Next to create your book, and be taken through the steps to generate your acknowledgments, preface and table of contents. Click Generate to be taken to the acknowledgment writer. If you don't want acknowledgments, simply click Next to leave it blank. Add the people that you would like to acknowledge in the opening of your book. Enter their names and how they have supported you, to craft a heartfelt acknowledgement. You can change the information you enter to generate different versions. Click the Add Acknowledgement button to add it to your book. You can always edit this later. Let's move on to the preface. Click Generate to be taken to the preface writer. If you don't want a preface, simply click Next to leave it blank. Outline your book and what led you to want to write it, along with your vision. Your input will be transformed into a captivating preface, setting the context of your book. You can change the information and regenerate your preface until you find a version that fits perfectly. Click Add Preface to add it to your book. You can always edit this later. Let's move on and create the table of contents. Click Generate to be taken to the Table of Contents Studio. Remember, you can change the table of contents style by clicking on the template name and selecting a different template. Outline exactly how you envision your book. The information you enter will be used to craft a perfectly aligned table of contents, creating the structure of your book, so you can easily generate and add chapters. Create as many chapters and subchapters as you need. Keep in mind that each subchapter will be around 900 words. So if you require information in each chapter to be extensive, add more subchapters. You can change the information you provide and regenerate the content as many times as you need to build the perfect outline for your book. Click Add Table of Contents to add it to your book. You can manually change the chapter and subchapter titles in the next section of the book builder. Click Next. The structure of your book is now being built, and you will be taken to the Chapter Studio to craft chapters and subchapters. Your table of contents will now display on the right, and you are ready to start crafting and adding content to your chapters and subchapters. You can manually edit any of the titles by clicking on them and typing. To add content to chapters, simply highlight the chapter you would like to add content to by clicking on it. To add content to a subchapter, click the plus symbol below the chapter title. This will expand the chapter content to display the subchapters. Then click on the subchapter title to highlight it, ready to add content. Remember, you can change the chapter style by clicking on the template name and selecting a different template. Choose from the many different template styles in the drop-down menu to find a template that will generate the chapter style that suits your book. Enter the chapter and subchapter titles from the table of contents on the right, along with your niche, target audience, primary goal, and other relevant information. You can choose the narration style and tone to match your own unique voice and style. You can change the information you provide and regenerate the content as many times as you need to craft perfect chapters for your book. You can also manually edit the chapters and subchapters in the far right panel or later in the book editor. Remember to make sure the correct chapter or subchapter is highlighted in the table of contents on the right by clicking on it. Then click Add to Chapter to add the generated content to the highlighted chapter of your book. The content is now added into your highlighted chapter or subchapter. You can click into the chapter editor on the far right to edit it, or open the book editor for full screen editing mode. If you would like to write your own content for any chapters, simply click in the chapter editor on the right and start typing. You can also click Open Editor to write in full screen mode. Click Open Editor to access your book in full screen editing mode and make changes. This is also where you will be able to export your formatted book. This is full screen editing mode. You can edit content in any chapter by clicking and highlighting the chapter title to display and edit the content on the right. Click the plus symbol below the chapter title to display and edit the subchapters. Click Export to download your book in docx format. If you don't have Microsoft Word, you can use free alternatives like Google Docs, LibreOffice Writer, or Apache OpenOffice Writer to open and edit your docx files. You can choose to download your book, formatted in 3 sizes, A4, US letter, or paperback 6x9. You can then edit your book externally or forward it to your editor. Close Editor to return to the book builder and generate different content. You can access all of the books you have created by clicking on Books in the left menu. You can view, edit, and delete any of your books. Click on the book title to open it in full screen mode to edit or export your book. Click on the red delete icon on the far right to delete a book. Here are some helpful tips to help you craft your book. Remember, you can experiment with different information and tones to get the perfect content for your book. With over 130 templates, you can easily craft books that suit your needs perfectly.